Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly. Jay Kleinknecht here, along with head coach Scott Langer. The coach, over the weekend, 6-4 win there in Bismarck. Like we talked about pregame Saturday, maybe not a pretty win, but they don't have to be, especially when you're on the road. They're not easy to come by. What did you guys take away from film, or what did you think of that game as a staff?
Well, I mean, it was good in their building to get out early. Obviously, it's always nice to score first, when you're in Bismarck, because they tend to get going, right out of the gate. So I thought our first and second period were just okay. And I should say our second period was good. Our first period was just okay. And then in the third period, we took some shifts off, and obviously they had a great comeback and tied the score. But it was a great opportunity for our guys not to bury their heads and to just stay at it, and they did. And obviously Randall scored a big goal there, pretty close to the whole thing, which kind of turned the tides back to our side, which was really a positive. Yeah,
huge goal. You mentioned it. There was about a 3-minute gap there where they scored 3 goals. What do you attribute that to when you go back and look at it? Is it kind of mental errors, or were there some breakdowns, or what caused that?
Yeah, I think there's a little of both.
Yeah.
I think when I think they really got going. They did some really good things, Bismarck, in that 3-minute stretch, and we passed up some block shots. We made some mistakes defensively, and I think a little puck luck there, always helps on their side. So, but again, on the road, we're not going to critique any of that stuff. Really, we're just going to learn from it, and good thing we got the 2 points on the way out.
Absolutely. And like you said, Jordan Randall's goal, that was a monster to take the enthusiasm away from the Bismarck bench and to kind of zap their energy a bit. And then, of course, Birdie's gave the little insurance there, a 6-4 win Friday night. Come back home to the Odie on Saturday, and a 3-0 win on Saturday. Great goaltending from Jake Sibell. He made some really huge saves in really key moments. And it really seemed like the team kind of rallied around him. I know the crowd sure did. What did you guys think of Saturday's game?
Yeah, again, we got out right away against them, which was good. And again, I thought our middle period was just okay at home, but our third period was excellent. We finally made some plays in the third period, got those 2 goals, which put the game away. And then obviously, the play of our goaltending with Jake Sibell was excellent. there was some chances there that they certainly could have been right back in the game, and Jake stood tall, and obviously there's a reason why he was the first star of that game. I mean, he was excellent.
Yeah, he really was. Really exciting saves too, very acrobatic. Jordan Randall got the game winner in that one too. Both games had the game winner plus an assist up in Bismarck. He has been named the Central Division Star of the Week, and we'll get a chance to talk with him in just a little bit, but a big weekend for him. I was thinking about, I know Coach Hill goes back and, we'll look at film and stuff. Then you start looking ahead to your opponent. Can you learn more from looking back at film from previous games, or can you from upcoming games, or maybe the team that you're going to be facing, or is it a little bit of a mix?
Well, I think it's both. I think, like what we do is we make sure we go back through the games we played and we correct mistakes. Mm-hmm. Obviously, in this situation, we're playing the same team 4 in a row, so you're kind of doing both at the same time. You're correcting mistakes, and then you're putting your pre-scout together. So you guys, throughout the week, our guys are studying it, and we're covering it, before we go out to practice what we need to work on. So I think you have to go back and fix some of the things that weren't up to standards, and we do that with the games that are from the previous weekend. And then normally, you're not playing the same team, so we're breaking down their last weekend's footage and trying to get some of the stuff that they do really well.
Do you ever come across reoccurring problems, or is it usually something new that you see that you're like, we need to make an adjustment there?
No, well, I mean, you do see reoccurring problems, but eventually it needs to be corrected, or someone else has to get it done.
Right.
But like for this group, it's been great. When we go back and we make corrections and we show the mistakes, they just seem to harp on it, and they go out there and they work on it, and it gets better. So it's one of the good things about Coach Hill is he's really good at picking apart our game from the previous weekends and and allowing the players to see what they can improve in. It's not something that, you're never calling players out or anything like that or trying to embarrass them. You're just trying to get better, and we do that. So.
Okay, well, you mentioned Coach Hill. I actually wanted to talk a little bit about Josh Haycock, too, the goalie coach. When a goaltender has a night like Sibell did on Saturday night, do you hear from Coach Haycock? I mean, I know that he's very hands-on and in contact with the goalies throughout the year on a daily basis, really, but is there a back and forth between you guys when a goaltender has a night like that, too?
Not so much. I mean, I made sure I reached out to Josh and congratulated him and basically just told him that, those are the expectations of what a goaltender is in our division. And it is. Obviously, we've had a goaltender like that every year since I've been here, someone that puts us over the top and wins championships. So, Josh is a guy that he's pretty quiet. He goes about his business and he just gets things done. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to ask a whole lot of him. It's already done before you ask him. So that's the relationship I have with Josh. He'll tell me when he thinks I'm wrong, and it's always the goalie's fault. And he's got a tough job. And I feel bad for him sometimes. On some nights, I tell him like I think it is, but he tells me like he thinks it is, and I appreciate that. Yeah. I really do. He's the goalie guy, and he's done a fantastic job with our goaltending in the years that we've been here. Yeah,
without a doubt. It's funny. I know some parents of goaltenders, and they often talk about how that is not an easy position either, to be a parent of a goaltender, because the weight of the world is on their shoulders. Wins, losses, whatever. It can easily be blamed on them or credited to them, whatever. A good friend of mine, his son was a goaltender all through high school, and they were nervous wrecks often. So. Let's see. I want to talk a little bit about the home-and-home situation with Bismarck this last weekend, and then, of course, coming up, the days are flip-flopped, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But what's your take on the home-and-home versus being able to go up there for 2 games and then back down here for 2 games? Does it make it a little more challenging?
Well, I think it does, just the travel alone, because you're either getting in really late or, you're having to travel the next day. So, we would much rather go and play 2 and settle in and just kind of have our routine in the opposition's building or the 2 in our building. But like I mentioned, during these times, it's probably not a bad idea that we're in the facility and out of the facility and we're gone back home right away with all the protocols that are in place. So from a player's point of view, I would much rather just stay and play the 2 than to do the back and forth.
But like you said, I mean, with COVID, so much has changed, and to minimize exposure in restaurants and all those kinds of things, certainly definitely a benefit. Ben Badalamenti joins the team. Saw minutes Saturday night. What can you tell us about Ben? What does he bring to the table?
Well, he's a vet. He's a guy that played a couple of years of major junior hockey, and he went in there at a young age, so he's been around the junior game for some time, and he brings some leadership to the table. He's a guy that plays a heavy hockey game, and he's really smart. I mean, he jumped in there on Saturday with one of our top lines, and not a lot of practice, during the week to kind of understand the structure that we have in place. And I thought he did a great job. Ben is going to be looked upon to add heaviness to our game as a forward and hopefully contribute offensively. Okay. I'd been with the St. John's Sea Dogs, and certainly welcome Ben to the Aberdeen Wings. Well, Coach, that's pretty much all I've got for you. We do have a player coming up, folks, but of course, have Bismarck this weekend, home Friday, on the road Saturday. So thanks for taking some time to talk with us a little bit here, and best of luck against Bismarck. Thanks, Jay. We'll be back with a player coming up after this.
Your bird dog deserves a great hunt.
Let's go. Let's hunt some birds.
So do you. This season, hunt in Aberdeen, South Dakota, America's premier pheasant hunting destination. Experience the flush. Experience the rush of wild birds in wild places. Create your hunt of a lifetime this season in Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Welcome back as we continue on with Wings Weekly, and as promised, a player joining me, and today it's Jordan Randall of Maple Grove, Minnesota. Jordan, thanks for coming on the show with us.
Thanks for having me.
And by the way, congratulations, the Central Division Star of the Week with 2 game-winning goals and an assist over the weekend. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Glad to see you getting acknowledged for that excellent weekend. Well, you started your career with Shreveport and then went to Corpus Christi for 16 games and now have officially played 50 games as an Aberdeen Wing, so congratulations on that as well. But I wanted to talk with you a little bit about your journey through juniors, or how you got started, because especially in Minnesota, high school hockey is big. So I always wonder when guys decide, are they going to play through their high school career, or are they going to take the step into juniors? What led you through that process?
I mean, I really left high school my junior year to go play U16s in Omaha, and I looked at how many people came from my high school compared to Omaha U16s, and it was just a better opportunity for me to try to move on to juniors and go to college.
Okay. Well, how did you get started in hockey? Did you have brothers and family members and so on that maybe played, which it seems like is often the case. Is that your case too?
Yeah, I had 2 older brothers, 6 and 10 years older than me. They played. I had a pond in my backyard, so that always helps. Get the love of the game going. So.
Yeah, being able to go out and play pond hockey whenever you want, that definitely would ease the transition into the game, no doubt. What would you say would be a hockey highlight so far in your career? What is something that sticks out in your mind that you're like, wow, that was just awesome, that was the best part of your career?
That's a tough question. My Bantam year at Maple Grove, we scored in triple overtime to go to the state tournament.
Oh, wow.
And that was crazy.
Yeah, that'd be big. Excellent. Well, still more memories to be made, and more, hopefully more state tournament type, those kinds of moments made, whether they be collegiate or here with the Wings. I know you told me that you're a big golfer. You like golf. I got to thinking about it a little bit, and I was like, have you ever thought about maybe after you work your way into college, or if you end up getting picked up or whatever, could you be a multi-sport athlete? Could you play? Are you that good, or you just enjoy golf?
I don't know if I'm that good. I mean, I'm probably better than like the average person, but I'm not anything like amazing. So.
Yeah. So no scholarship?
Yeah, probably not.
All right. Just a little, again, getting to know you a little bit, because I always, there's a lot of fans that are diehard fans that really support you guys and want to get to know you as people, because obviously on the ice they cheer for you, but they don't know much about your personality and stuff. So I had a few questions for you I wanted to ask about your game day routine. A lot of times I know people have certain schedules and so on, but then there are also times there's superstitions that are involved, that they have to do a certain thing at a certain time or whatever. Years ago, we had a player here named Colton Fletcher that could not be touched on a game day. Like they'd come up and hit him on the shoulder, and he'd be like, "Don't touch me." So there's a lot of interesting superstitions out there on game day, particularly. What is your routine like?
I mean, I don't have anything crazy like that. I don't know. I always I have a half hour probably before I go like shower and get ready to go, where I lay on the floor. I just lay there, kind of do my normal stretch, and then getting dressed every day on game day. I always put my left side of my gear on first: the left skate, left shin pad, all that. Right
on. Any particular meal or anything that you have to have on a game day, or does it kind of get mixed up?
Not really. I just kind of, I don't know, make it up as I go. Okay. I try not to be too.
How about, speaking of food or transitioning into food, if you had to pick your favorite ethnic food, whether it be Italian or Mexican or whatever, what would your go-to be?
Italian for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Big pasta guy, huh?
Yeah.
Right on. Well, again, along the lines of foods, if you had to have one meal that was going to be like your last or whatever, what would you think you'd pick?
I think I'd go with, I love breakfast food as well, so I'm gonna go, my mom makes crepes, and they're my favorite thing to eat, ever. So probably crepes, some scrambled eggs, and bacon. Nice. Be perfect.
Bacon, can't go wrong with bacon. And you gotta give credit to mom. Hockey moms work their butts off, so it's great to work her in. Let's see, how about a travel destination? If you could go anywhere in the world and spend a week there or whatever, do you have any place in mind that maybe a bucket list place that you just really want to visit?
Anywhere in the world?
Yep.
That'd be tough. Maybe like Hawaii. Obviously, I'm a big golfer, and they have ridiculous courses there that I've always wanted to play.
I can only imagine. I'm not all that good at golf. I mean, I like to do it, but you see these amazing courses, and you're like, and I'm going, how do they even play that? Like, I need rough, and I need space. But some of those, especially on the islands where they're, a lot of it's volcanic and so on, there's not a lot of room. The fairway's pretty darn slim, so not a problem for a guy like you, though. Let's see. How about holidays? I know we're creeping up on Halloween here, and of course Thanksgiving, not too far away, Christmas and so on. Do you have a favorite holiday that sticks out in your mind?
Like favorite holiday?
Yeah.
Probably Christmas for sure.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the whole build up to it and everything. It's my favorite.
Do you have any traditions or anything as a family that you always look forward to?
Not really. We're kind of, as we get older, we just kind of change and.
Well, that's true. Is that you get, when people are little and kids are little, they often, maybe they go for a sleigh ride or whatever. They might have something going on. But then, as you said, as people become adults and kind of go off and have their own families or whatever, it does change a little bit. That's for sure. How about I was talking about personality-wise and stuff. What kind of hobbies do you like to do when you're not working out, not skating, not whatever? What do you?
I mean, obviously I golf a lot. It's pretty.
Movie guy? Do you like movies?
I do love movies. Huge movie guy. Huge Marvel universe.
Oh, okay.
It's my favorite. So
I was just gonna say, hard to pick a favorite often, but what would be your number one if you could think of it?
Number one movie?
Yep. Best you've ever seen.
I mean, I love Endgame. Just the whole build up to the end. It's really long. I could watch it all the time.
Yeah. All right. There we go. I wanted to talk a little bit too about the way things ended last year with COVID and how abruptly everything ended, and then about how your summer went as far as workouts and stuff go because so many things were limited. First of all, walk us through that because I've talked with Coach about it and about how he felt and how he dealt with having everybody gone so quickly. But I haven't had a chance to really talk with a player yet about what it was like in the locker room when all of a sudden the plug is pulled, it's over, and you're kind of just sitting here going, wait a minute, what? I thought we were going to the playoffs,
Yeah, it was really obviously something I never thought I'd have to do, but just kind of abrupt kind of say goodbye to the guys, and it was really hard. It felt like we didn't get to finish what we started.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, the playoffs were on the horizon, and it felt like something was building, so that would make it even worse, really. How about your summer? Were you able to enjoy it a little bit, or was it? I know obviously Minnesota was pretty strict about things. It seems like
Minnesota was pretty strict, so it was a lot of just sitting at home. I mean, couldn't skate for 3 months. Probably went back 3-4 months. So it was a lot of sitting around, doing what I can, working out. But that was about it.
Definitely. It seems like everything is just kind of upside down with this whole COVID stuff. But actually, Jordan, I think that's just about all I got for you. I appreciate you coming on, though, and talking with us a little bit and letting fans get a chance to get to know you a little bit. Friday, October 23rd versus the Bismarck Bobcats, college night. Show a valid college ID at the door and receive $5 admission. Doors open at 5:30 and the puck drops at 7:15. Get your tickets now at tickets.aberdeenwings.com. $15 corporate bar stool seats are available by calling Aaron at 605-380-5852. $10 general admission tickets are also on sale now at any of the 4 Sea Express locations in Aberdeen with additional purchase. Saturday, October 24th, again against the Bobcats. 7:15 puck drop. Watch the game at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Aberdeen or by logging on to hockeytv.com. You can listen to 94.1 The Rock or hubcityradio.com as well. For all the latest news and information on the Wings, visit aberdeenwings.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Well, again, Jordan, thanks for coming on. Good luck against the Bismarck this weekend. And we want to thank all of you for listening and watching. That'll do it for this week's Wings Weekly.